Good evening. Good evening to all of you. Let's see, that was Don Nelson. We're introducing people. This is Nancy Belden ringing. Anybody else ringing? No, Nancy Mathwood's looking at me like, what? Good evening, and welcome. I'd like to start with a question from Rear Admiral Stockdale. Why are we here? I have three reasons for this. The first one is simply because we enjoy each other, and that's a good enough reason to get together. Second, though, we do work hard during the year, and we, not us, but we deserve a break and a bit of a party, and I think that's fine. And third, we're here to celebrate some things. And here's what we're celebrating. We're celebrating our 61st annual get-together. We're celebrating a gathering of 801 colleagues and friends. And we're going to celebrate some awards. Now, awards do, of course, honor the individuals who receive them for their accomplishments. To me, the awards are more important not for the individuals, but for a statement of us, we AAPOR, about our values, of what's important, and what we believe we should honor. So tonight we celebrate excellence in student work as a beginning, and of course we're all students and continue to be students. We celebrate great books. Those have had an impact, and for what books just are as an accumulation of knowledge, which as a professional society we embrace so fully. We celebrate work that has had an impact, that reminds us that we are relevant and that what we do is important. And we celebrate a lifetime of achievement for someone, an individual whose work has touched all our lives and changed all our lives. So, you interested? I'm happy to be the booth. I was going to say I'm happy to be the ringmaster, but I guess you guessed that. Let me begin by introducing you to your council. These are the people you elected. As of about 5 o'clock today, I'm happy to say I became the ex-president, the past president. This is the council that will go forward for the next year, and I'm happy to introduce them to you. And I'm going to do it by functional areas. We have 6 people who are new to the council. We have 6 people who are going off the council. And I'll try and keep the incoming and ongoing people straight. I want to start with membership and chapter relations. The incoming counselor for this is Carl Ramirez from the GAO. You want to stand, please? The existing counselor, the person who's taking over responsibilities in this area, is Kat Drawn from the University of Southern Indiana and Director of Drawn Research. Got them both in. Publications and information, the incoming counselor is Mark Blumenthal, better known to many of you as Mystery Pollster. And the person that he's going to assist is the person who has put all these photos, most of these photos, his wife did some, up on the screens. The person whose video will introduce the Lifetime Achievement Award winner and the chair of Publications and Information, Steve Everett. Standards. The incoming associate chair is Charlotte Steve from the Center of Disease Control at the end of the table. And the chair who takes on the heavy portfolio of standards is Tom Guterbach of the University of Virginia. The 2 counselors at large, the senior counselor at large is Bob Shapiro from Columbia University. And I think I get a kick out of this. The junior counselor is former President Mark Schulman of SRBI. The incoming Secretary-Treasurer is Dawn Nelson from the Census. Continuing the government role in Secretary-Treasurer. The Secretary-Treasurer next year is Paul Beatty from the National Center of Health Statistics. Conference, and again, this is what we spend the most money on, and this is really what we do, mainly for members. Incoming conference chair is Frank Newport of the Gallup Organization. Next year's conference chair is Patricia Moy from the University of Washington. The incoming vice president and president-elect is Nancy Ann Elizabeth Mathewitz from the University of Wisconsin. And I'd now like to turn this over to the incoming president of AAPOR, Rob Days from the Star Tribune.
Thank you, Cliff. Over the past number of years, our conference has grown in a lot of different ways. And one of those ways is just a wonderful professionalism, and I hope without abandoning any of the sense of community that we have. And a lot of the credit for this goes to an increased amount of sponsorship, an increased amount of support that we've been able to enjoy. And you've probably seen all over the place all of these wonderful organizations, 27 exhibitors, 30 sponsors, 40 different ways that they have chosen to support this wonderful organization we call AAPOR. Those are two-place numbers. The five-place number I'd like to share with you is to thank all of those folks, all of those organizations, for the $90,000 that they've contributed to this year's conference. Several years ago, when I was conference chair, someone brought it to my attention that we really needed someone to do a better job and to make these sorts of things happen. And I'd like to thank that person tonight because his term is ending. He's, I'm sure, going to be continue to be involved with AAPOR. But if I could ask Carl Feld to come forward. Carl has put this sponsorship program in place, but more than that, he has just an incredibly marvelous company name. He's head of a company called People Chasers. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? This plaque is presented to Carl G. Feld, Development, Sponsorship, and Exhibits Coordinator, 2003-2006, in appreciation for your unselfish dedication and many contributions to the betterment of the association.
As I said before, conference is the most important thing we do. We have about 350 or so who presented. We have 801 people here. This is the main goal of a professional person who is most responsible for this, what are you laughing at? Yeah. The person who is most responsible for the conference logistics is a friend of mine and has been a friend of mine for 20 years, a former graduate student. Our relationship has blossomed to where we're peers and colleagues, and I have great respect and affection for her. Please welcome Nancy Wilchel. And then there's someone you actually elect to do this work. The person who has sorted through all the abstracts and recruited all the reviewers and organized all the panels and agonized over how this would all go and chose the theme and the plenary speaker and has lived with this for a year and pulled it off brilliantly. Please join me in appreciating David Moore, conference chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Cliff. Should I go ahead? Go ahead. Go ahead. Mr. Bishop. Go ahead.
I'm David Moore, conference chair. Outgoing, my swan song. Okay, there are a few things that I want to do, the practical things. A couple reminders. Book sale, everybody knows about that. Right after the conference, right after the award ceremony across the hall. And don't forget the Moulin Rouge party and the applied probability at the Marriott. You've got an invitation, take it with you, spend it all. Now, as many of you know, in even-numbered years, AAPOR meets with its sister organization, WAPOR, the World Association for Public Opinion Research. This year, WAPOR met on Wednesday and Thursday, and we held joint AAPOR-WAPOR sessions Thursday afternoon. First, next year's WAPOR conference will be in Berlin, September 19th to 21st. Mark that on your calendar. Second, the highlight of each WAPOR Awards banquet is the announcement of the Helen Dinerman Award for particularly significant contributions to survey research methodology. This year, the award was bestowed upon an individual whose work spans the entire field of survey research. It would be an understatement to say that this individual's work has transformed the practice of survey research, not only in the U.S., where he has had an incredible influence on public policy, but also around the world. The author of several gold standard texts, he has received numerous honors, including the 2003 AAPOR Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations to Don Dillman for winning the 2006 WAPOR Helen Dinerman Award. Last year, Tom Smith did something at the conference that I thought was very appropriate for indicating how many people actually contribute to the conference. Everybody says or gives credit to the conference chair, but the truth is there's so many people who are involved that to take credit for it without acknowledging the other people would really be a crime. So what I would like to do right now is to just plagiarize from Tom Smith's actions last year and ask every group that I mentioned stand up when I mention your name or group and to stay standing until I tell you to sit down. The first person I'd like to have stand up is a person who truly was a co-chair with me and who worked as hard as I did, and I would say harder, but I don't want to say that because I don't want to take away from all the applause that you gave. You can't undo that anyway, but the truth is that Patricia Moy deserves a tremendous amount of credit. Cliff Zukin already mentioned his great friend and my great friend, and who's just worked super hard, the Conference Operations Chair Nancy Welchel. Please stand. Also who should stand are everyone, Linda Dimitropoulos, Conference Operations Committee, the docents and volunteers, all please stand. All in the audience as well. Keep standing. Keep standing. No. Keep standing. We want to show how many people are involved in this thing. There were 63 people who helped review all the papers and panels and stuff. I hope they will all stand. Everybody stand. There were so many chairs and discussants, I don't know how many to do, but everybody of the chairs and discussants, please stand. Everybody who gave a paper, please stand. Anybody who attended any session at least for 15 seconds, stand. Anybody who wanted to attend, no, keep standing. Hey, anybody who wanted to attend but found other things to do, thought about it, please stand. People who would like to have attended, thought about it, but had something else better to do, please stand. People who did absolutely nothing for the conference, had no intention of doing it, and are here for a free meal, please stand. Please sit. There is a lesson to be learned from all of this. First lesson, of course, is that it takes a village to raise a village. And the president of AAPOR is a freeloader. Actually, that's not true. Cliff had a lot of things to do last week. Yep. Last week, I got a call from Laura Bush, who was not happy with the AAPORnet discussion about her husband and comments and all this tapes that were provided to her by the Homeland Security. And so she gave Cliff a call, and she said, why do you people pay so much attention to the polls, those awful polls, when you should be talking to real people? Cliff, of course, as you know, is a very aggressive president, and he said, I think we should find a real person. And he said, David, can you find a real person? I said, sure. So I said, Patricia, can you find a real person? And she said, David, I'm on sabbatical. I'm not doing anything more. That was the email that I got back. Actually, I did press her on it. And so she went ahead and did a national survey. You know, not one of those Insta polls that used to be done by the former CNN USA Today Gallup poll. Nor, and which seem, of course, to drive my good friend Jan Werner up the freaking wall. But instead, she did a very complex, scientifically sound, Bill O'Reilly call-in poll. In any case, what she did do was to identify a real person. And so tonight, the first annual AAPOR Real Person of the Year Award is going to be awarded to that real person. And first of all, I don't know anything about who the person is. I don't know where he or she is from. Patricia Moy did all the work, so I got to find out from Patricia. What do you got, Patricia? Well, I'll be Rebecca Rule from Northwood, New Hampshire. What a coinky-dinky. I am also from New Hampshire. Ah, there he is. Okay.
It's me!
I want you to know that a part of this is that I'm going to interview this real person.
Real person. Real person.
I am I'm interested in probing her core values.
None of that.
You realize you are a real person.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm a real person with a sweet.
So,
Go ahead.
Rebecca or Becky rule?
Either one is good. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I've got a lot of questions to ask you.
Oh,
First question I'd like to ask you is, because you're from New Hampshire,
right.
I would like to ask you a very scientific question. What do you think should be done with the New Hampshire primary? Do you think the political party should allow it to remain as the first presidential primary in the nation? Or should other states be allowed to go before New Hampshire?
I don't know. But I will tell you this. In New Hampshire, we get swarmed with presidential candidates every 4 years. They're almost as bad as the black flies. And you know what they say in New Hampshire? They say if it weren't for the... That's where you live, David. You should know. If it weren't for the black flies, everybody would want to live here. But every 4 years they come around and they're in the restaurants, they're in people's houses, they're at the libraries, they're at the town hall. Last year I went to, well, whenever that last round went, what year was that?
2004.
That was a while ago. I went to the town hall to hear one of them speak. I can't remember which one, but he had those close together eyes. And
Not Nixon.
I don't believe so, no. And I went in and I was about a half hour late. So I sneaked in the back of the hall and I saw my friend Joe sitting there. And I said, has he been talking long? Joe said, yes, he's been talking about 25 minutes. I said, well, what's he talking about? And Joe said, he ain't said yet.
So...
Is that a good answer?
Well, so should New Hampshire be first, or let other countries go, other nations, other states go first?
I think New Hampshire should be first because we're so diverse.
You know, I have difficulty believing that we're from the same state. You know, I've been in New Hampshire now for 30-some years, and
Welcome to New Hampshire. Where did you come from?
From
Oh,
California.
I'm not supposed to ask the question.
No, that's I'm asking the
You
question.
came from California?
California.
I thought I detected a little twang.
All right, let's move on. We'll move on to a typical ABC, Washington Post, CNN, USA Today, Gallup,
I'm ready.
NBC, Washington Post question. Okay.
Okay. I can
There are
do
a lot of problems in the world today.
Yes, there
I would
are.
like to tell me, in your own words, what you think is the most important problem facing the country.
In my own words, the most important facing the country. Could you rephrase the question?
No, I'm sorry. The way we pollsters ask questions is we just ask the question and then you
Could
interpret
you
it.
ask it another way?
In your own words, what do you think is the most important problem facing the country today? It's very simple.
Nudity.
Yours or other people's? No answer with that one.
I'll pass.
All right. Okay, now we're going to go to another question, part of your political culture. How satisfied are the people in your town with their political leaders? Are they very satisfied, somewhat satisfied, somewhat dissatisfied, or very dissatisfied?
Our political leaders.
Local,
I
political,
know
like, you know.
our selectmen.
There.
In our town, we have selectmen. We have 3 selectmen, and they run the budget and different things in the town. Nobody much likes them. Last year, a fella run for selectman, unopposed.
think I know what a dump is.
Showed up
Where
at
you
the
take?
dump, kind of unsteady on his feet. Maybe it was mouthwash that made his breath so tangy. Maybe he had one of those inner ear infections that upset your balance. Could have been. You hear different things. Anyway, this selectman was heaving a kind of a heavy bag into the compactor. Kermit, the dump master, calls it the crusher. Because when a lot of bags get piled up, he pulls the lever from inside his little dump master cottage, and the steel slabs hydraulic together, and everything gets squished, compacted. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Anyway, this selectman got to swing in this kind of a heavy bag like a pendulum, and when he worked up to the big swing to toss it, evidently he forgot to let go. Both he and the bag sailed over the railing, down they went. Luckily, the crusher was pretty near full at the time, so there was plenty to break his fall. There he lay, spread eagle. His eyes were open, but he didn't say anything. Now, naturally, the customers gathered around, wondering what is the best way to snag that selectman out of there. Pretty soon, Kermit emerges from his little dump master cottage looking owly. He marches up to the rail. He looks down in. He says, "What the hell are you doing down there? Get out of there. Selectmen don't belong in the crusher. They belong over in compost." You're not writing this down. Do you need a pencil?
That wasn't one of the response options that I had marked down here, but I'll take it as an
Should I
open-ended
tell you
comment. No,
again?
no, that's, I got that. Let me ask you about the financial situation in your
Oh,
town. Would you say they're
financial.
better off, they're worse off, they're about the same as they were years ago?
Finances. We have an attitude.
I
It's
think
called
so.
a Yankee attitude, and I'll explain it to you this way. Years ago, over in Canterbury, New Hampshire, on the Shapiro Road, there was a man named Linwood Rogers. Now, he was selling picnic tables out in front of his house. Now, you'll know how many years ago it was when I say that he was selling those picnic tables for $16 a piece. So it was a while back. Anyway, this fella pulled up in a pickup truck, and he was looking those picnic tables over. He says, "Linwood, $16, huh?" Linwood says, "That's right." The fella says, "Well, how long does it take you to make one of those picnic tables?" Linwood thought, and he says, "Well, about 4 hours." Well, the fella, who had gone to college, did a quick calculation. He said, 4 hours, $16. That's about $4 an hour, isn't it? And Linwood agreed that it was. So he said, "Linwood, could you make me a picnic table for $3 an hour?" Linwood says, "Show up, but it'll take a little longer." It's subtle.
All right, yeah. I think I get it. Finally, last question. Those have been very helpful. It's given me some insight into your
You
core
didn't write-
values.
You didn't write anything down
Well, I just marked the answer.
with your invisible pen.
Yeah, with my invisible pen. All right. Final question.
All right, okay.
I'd like to ask you about the cost of medical care in your town. Would you say the costs are too high, they're about right, or they're too low?
I'll tell you about medical costs. And I'll tell you this. I'll give you a little anecdote. Now, hospice is a wonderful program for taking care of people at the end of their lives, as you well know. I myself am a volunteer. However, 31 years ago, they were trying to get some of those hospice volunteers and some work done in the North
statistical questions for comparison purposes only, and say thank you very much, Becky Roll, the Real Person of the Year Award.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
For those of you who will actually go over and participate in the Can-Can, we have some CDs of Becky Rule, and they will be awarded to those people who provide the most outstanding and humorous renditions of the Can-Can. So be sure to go over there and you'll get a free CD.
There are a few of you in the room who have had the rare opportunity to play golf with me, and I'm Ken Steve, Social Activities Coordinator. Each one of those people can attest to the fact that I have a really, really hard time figuring out how to hit the ball. But I did impress my golf partners this time. They didn't realize that you can actually hit the ball in such a way that it goes backwards twice in a row. I give that example because I did lean on somebody quite heavily for some of the details with putting the golf outing together. And I would like to present this T-shirt to him. Norm Trussell, thank you. I saw that shirt and it was kind of funny with the Three Stooges. Okay. Golf outing winners. Closest to the pin, Scott Keeter. Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at this. Come on up over here and get your award when I call your name. Longest drive, Robert McAbee. I'll wait for Scott to get back to his seat. Low net score, Scott Keeter. I didn't score it. Low gross, Mark DiCamillo. We're still tabulating the scores from the pub crawl. There's about 8 people who have not posted their results yet. I'm not sure where they're at. I've been trying to track them down. We'll get back with that. The fun run. These are runners. Women, winner, Adria Gallup Black. Men is Mark Maynard. For the walkers, women, Amanda Smith. And for the men, Rob Simmons. I'd just like to say I didn't realize how much work this really is. I'm glad now I can go take a nap. Thank you. Oh, I have one more. I've got a lot of people propping me up if you haven't noticed. T-shirt award winner, Benjamin Healy from Massey University. And his slogan was, "Trust us, we're 95% confident." Thank you.
I want to thank David Moore for that entertaining look into his home state of New Hampshire. This one I'd like to read. For your gifts of ideas, vision and insight, boundless energy, patience and persistence, playfulness and good humor, commitment to service and passion for AAPOR. We honor and thank you, Nancy Jane Belden, AAPOR's daughter and leader. All right. And then I think I need to turn the podium over to awards. I believe we're starting with Patricia Moy.
Thank you. Since 1967, AAPOR has been recognizing the work of students who have made an extraordinary contribution to our collective understanding of public opinion. In 2001, AAPOR renamed its award to honor the late Seymour Sudman, who had been extremely committed to mentoring and teaching students in the field. I'd like to begin the presentation by thanking profusely the 5 individuals who kindly volunteered their time, and many of whom were AAPOR Student Paper Award winners themselves. Damaris Kanash from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, David Dutlin from ICR, International Communications Research, Carolyn Funk from the Pew Research Center, Carol Glenn from Ohio State University, and Michael Ling from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Thank you very much. The committee this year selected 2 manuscripts as honorable mentions. The first goes to Andy Paychef for his paper, A Framework for Survey Breakoffs. Andy, if you could come up. The reviewers commended Andy's paper and his logical theoretical framework, his well-grounded research, and well-reasoned analyses. For a concise and convincing paper, we present our first honorable mention to Andy Paychef from the University of Michigan. This year, the committee also awarded an honorable mention to Tim Yang for her paper, How Successful I Am Depends on What Number I Get, the effects of numerical scales and need for cognition on survey responses. The reviewers were impressed by the insights from cognitive theory and the execution of her study, and they called her manuscript a very sophisticated piece of research. Tim Yang from the University of Michigan. The 2006 Seymour Sudman Student Paper Award goes to Magdalena Wojcicek for her paper, What About the People? Impact of Ideologically Homogeneous Groups on False Consensus. I'd like to quote one reviewer in saying, good papers on public opinion make significant contributions to a particular empirical body of knowledge within the field of public opinion, and perhaps even subsequently add to the theoretical knowledge of that body of knowledge. But excellent papers do more. They offer insight into the very nature of opinion formation and the nature of public opinion itself. And by that definition, this is an excellent paper. Magdalena Wojcicek from the University of Pennsylvania. Congratulations. And the check.
Hello. Let's go right to it. The AAPOR's Book Award. I'm Bob Shapiro, chair of the Book Award Committee. The AAPOR Book Award is presented to Roger Taranjo, University of Maryland, Lance Rips of Northwestern University, Kenneth Brzezinski of the National Opinion Research Center for their book, The Psychology of Survey Response, published in 2000 by Cambridge University Press. This award is presented on behalf of AAPOR and the Book Award Committee members, who were Paul Beamer, Larry Bobo, Henry Brady, Scott Keeter, Paul Lavrakis, Warren Matovsky, Patricia Patricia Moy, Vincent Price, Nora K. Schaefer, Howard Schuman, Tom Smith, and myself. And you know that's a big, tough crowd. The AAPOR Book Award recognizes important books that have stimulated theoretical and scientific research on public opinion or influenced our understanding or application of survey research methods, or combined the substantive and the methodological. Roger, Lance, and Ken's book has met this standard. It represents what we do at AAPOR at a very high level of achievement and contribution to research. The psychology of survey research is one of the signature works that has made researchers more cognitively oriented to advance questionnaire design and to advance the practice of survey research by understanding the psychological processes involved in responding to survey questions. AAPOR is honored to present the award to Roger, Lance, and Ken. Let's come up and get the award.
This is a terrific honor, and I'd like to thank Bob Shapiro and, with one or two minor exceptions, the other members of the AAPOR Book Award Committee. There were many people who helped us write this book, and tonight I'd like to just single out a few of them for special thanks. When we started the book, I worked with NORC, and he was very supportive of me when I was trying to write the book, and he gave me release time to work on the book. And I'd like to thank Phil DePoy and Norman Bradburn for supporting and engineering this arrangement. Later at Gallup, Max Larson also engineered a similar arrangement to help me finish the book. So my thanks to Max and to the Gallup organization. I showed my heartfelt gratitude to both of these organizations by becoming an employee of the University of Michigan. And in part that was because of the efforts of Bob Groves, who provided a haven from the demands of my day jobs at JPSM. So my thanks to Bob too. Lance, you know how I feel about you. I'm very proud of this honor, and I'll try not to let my head. Thank you.
And I have the next honor to introduce Nancy Belden.
Thank you, Bob. The Policy Impact Award recognizes and honors outstanding research that's had a clear impact on improving policy decisions, practice, and discourse. The members of this committee this year, which as immediate past president I chaired, were Rob Santos, Stanley Presser, Molly Androdi, Will Lester, and Mark Blumenthal. So thank you all very much for your help in working on this award. The great thing is, I think my fellow and sister committee members would say, is that there are lots of wonderful examples of research that is leading to better policy in this country and elsewhere. And so it's a joy really to have the opportunity to stop and consider them tonight. AAPOR gives the Policy Impact Award because it reminds us, and it reminds the world, and it allows us to celebrate the contributions that survey and public opinion research make. I'm delighted to announce that this year the award goes to the UCLA Center for Health Policy Research and its partners, the California Department of Health Services and the Public Health Institute, for their work on the California Health Interview Survey. This continuing survey is conducted in 6 languages, collects data on the health of Californians, including what were really previously underrepresented, if represented at all, groups. It tracks chronic disease, it covers health status, behaviors, it covers insurance, access to services, the development of children and adolescents. Under the leadership of Rick Brown, who is here to receive the award today, the CHIS is promoting very aggressively
consequently, government officials, local agencies, clinics, advocacy groups, everybody is compelled to work together to enact policies that expand health coverage and improve services for the people, be they poor, uninsured, or otherwise. In California, the CHIS users are everywhere. There are legislators in Sacramento. There are AIDS workers in San Francisco. They might be immigrant health policy designers in Bakersfield. They all can, and they do, access the data and analyze it and use it fruitfully. Legislators can make budget decisions based on it. Advocates for children in the disadvantaged populations use it to learn what policy things they need to be working on and be able to go about doing what they want to do and what they do well, and become very effective because of it. So this RDD household survey reaches into every county and oversamples ethnic populations. It renders the findings for people who are often, as we've said, overlooked. Rick, you want to come forward, please? It's my great pleasure to present the AAPOR Policy Impact Award to the California Health Interview Survey and to its principal investigator, E. Richard Brown of UCLA.
Thank you, Nancy. And on behalf of my colleagues, I want to thank AAPOR for this very great honor. We are very appreciative of the recognition of the work that we do. I would like to also acknowledge one of our team members who's here with me at the AAPOR meeting, Sung-Hee Lee. Where are you? Who's both a presenter and a chair of a session. And also two of our partners at WestAT, which is the survey research organization that collects the data for us, Mike Pitt and Sherman Edwards. Mike and Sherman, where are you? This is really a tremendous collective effort, not only of our center at UCLA, but of the State Health Department and the Public Health Institute, and really dozens and dozens of partner agencies and organizations throughout California and even nationally. And if there's one thing I'd like to leave you with, and that is the importance, in my view, of survey organizations, and particularly government agencies, investing the resources that are required to get the data out. It is not enough to just collect the data, to put it up on a website even, to make it available in the public use file. It takes actively promoting it, bringing it to people, and providing really the tools to access the data and even to analyze the data. In effect, to democratize access to both data and analysis to groups and individuals and organizations and agencies that otherwise would not have the capacity to be able to benefit from those data and turn them into policy tools that they can use to advance the agendas and needs of underrepresented groups throughout our society. So I want to thank you very much for this honor. And there are copies of a brief flyer that describes some of the impacts of the survey that are out at the registration hearing. Thank you.
Well, this is the piece de resistance. Along with colleagues, this is not the piece. This is the piece you can resist. It's just a setup. Along with colleagues, two of whom are here, I just published a book. Scott and Michael, my colleagues, said I should plug it. I said that would be shameless and unbecoming of the president for AAPOR, of AAPOR, but now I'm, of course, the ex-president. My point is that I've become familiar recently with just how hard it is to write a book. I want it to be a good book. And that's really for both of which won the Woodrow Wilson Award in political science. Then as a scholar, you'd be extremely deserving of the AAPOR Award for shaping the field of public opinion. But what if there was more? What if, in addition to being a first-class scholar, you were also an inventor, a tinkerer, problem-solver, and a visionary? What if you produced a great innovation that changed how people, how almost all of us do our work? And then what if you did it a second time? That would be remarkable. And if that had happened, then we'd be honored to give you the Lifetime Achievement Award for AAPOR. So after this brief film introduction put together by Steve Everett, I hope you will please join me in enthusiastically welcoming the 2006 AAPOR Award winner, Norman Nie.
This career, it's really all about your colleagues through the years. Their quality and I have been extraordinarily lucky, but a lot of what I've gotten done along with some